I'm about to show you 6 AI prompts that will help you build your health practitioner business faster than almost anything else that you can do this year. That means less time bogged down in the business side of things and more time spent transforming the lives of your clients. I'm Lauren. I've worked with more than 1,000 practitioners all over the world, built and sold my own wellness business, and here is exactly what my clients use. Before we dive into the first prompt, here's the thing about most practitioners that I speak to. They are extraordinarily clear on what they do clinically. They can articulate the science and the mechanism and the intervention, but when you ask them to describe what they do in language that makes a complete stranger want to buy, the words start to fall apart. And that's not usually a reflection on their intelligence, it's a reflection on how they were trained. There's a difference between clinical precision and commercial clarity. Those are different skills. And the piece that most practitioners miss entirely is that your ideal client is not Googling your modality. They are not searching for functional medicine. They're searching for their problem or their set of symptoms. And so the first prompt is designed to solve exactly that. Here's what it looks like. So you can share this in Claude or ChatGPT, and we're going to give it context first. So I am insert your job title, health practitioner, health coach, nutritionist, who helps insert specific type of person with specific problems. So insert the symptoms or the condition that you help with. I need to create compelling one-liners that describe what I do, but written from my ideal client's perspective. So use their actual language to describe their struggles. These descriptions need to make prospects immediately think that is exactly my situation, rather than trying to decode professional jargon. So the request is to create 5 different one-sentence descriptions of what I do, each following these criteria. Written in first person from the client's perspective, using everyday language, not industry terminology, focusing on the emotional reality and day-to-day pain, not the technical problem. Each sentence should feel like something they'd actually say or think. Vary the emotional angle: frustrated, overwhelmed, stuck, confused, worried. Make each description specific enough to feel personal, not generic. Include subtle details that show you understand their world. Format each as a standalone sentence that could work as a headline, a LinkedIn post opener, or a conversation starter. And then here's a great tip with every prompt that you give to AI. Question: before proceeding, please ask me any clarifying questions to ensure that your advice is tailored to my specific situation. What this does is force AI to translate your clinical health or wellness vocabulary into emotional language of the person that you're actually trying to reach. So you run it, you take the 5 outputs, and one of them, usually the third or fourth, will feel almost uncomfortably accurate. And that is your hook. That's the line that goes on your website or as the core of every piece of content that you create. Now, I have spoken to hundreds of nutritionists, health coaches, functional medicine practitioners, therapists who spend months trying to write a clear brand message and get nowhere. This prompt gets you there in less than 2 minutes. And once you have that clarity, the next step gets a whole lot easier. So before I jump into the next prompt, I want to flag something. So I've put together a free training that walks you through exactly what we're building here: how to structure the right offer, how to create content that builds trust, how to systemize your delivery so that you're not starting from scratch every month. And it covers everything I'm about to show you in one place in the right sequence. And the link is in the description. You can grab it, follow along as we go through the next prompt. So the next prompt helps you if you are a practitioner who is feeling like you're sitting on more value than what you're actually charging. And often I find that the problem is not your offer. It's that you've never had somebody hold up a mirror and say, this is what you're actually worth. I had a conversation recently with a GLP-1 specialist. She helps women using GLP-1 medications to rebuild their metabolic lifestyle foundations afterwards. Brilliant practitioner. She has been charging $1,800 for her program for over a year. And one conversation about the real value of her work, not her time, not her sessions, but the actual transformation that she delivers. And the following week, she raised her price to $2,400. The next 3 days, she sold 3 places in the next 10 days. Her audience hadn't changed. Her offer hadn't changed. Her belief in the value had changed. Now, AI can't do the belief work for you, but it can do something really useful. It can audit your offer structure and tell you what is missing. So here is the prompt. We give it context. We say, I am a health coach with an existing offer that I suspect is undervalued. My current offer includes, and then detail out the offer details. My typical client is, describe who would normally buy your program, and they struggle with, and then describe their health challenge. My current price point is, insert your price. I've been in practice for X number of years and I've helped X number of clients achieve and describe some of the results that you get. Your request is to provide a comprehensive analysis that includes a breakdown of what my current offer communicates about the value I believe I deliver, the specific value gaps that are preventing me from charging premium prices and what's missing, a detailed premium version of my offer with specific high value components to add and a rationale for each, the transformation story I need to tell, price anchoring strategy and suggested premium price point, the exact language or messaging shifts that need to position this premium offer, and the proof elements like testimonials or credentials or guarantees to support this higher price. Give me a 30-day implementation roadmap to test this pricing structure with minimal risk. Format this as a strategic document I can use internally and adapt for client communications. And of course, ask any clarifying questions to make sure that this is tailored to my situation. What comes back is often very confronting in a really useful way. So you will get a clear read on where your offer undersells you. And usually it's in the specificity of the outcome or the structure of what's actually being delivered. And you will then have a starting point for your next pricing conversation. This is where it gets really interesting because step 3 is where we take everything we've just built and make it work without you. There's one thing I wish someone had told me earlier, and it's that content doesn't have to cost you this much time. The model that most health and wellness practitioners are using is sit down, stare at a blank screen, write something, post it, repeat, and it's exhausting. The output is inconsistent because the input is inconsistent. My client Jasmine is a parenting coach. She's a busy mom of 2. She made almost £100,000 in her first year of selling digital products. That is 3 times her annual salary as a school teacher, her previous vocation. The system that supported it wasn't magic, it was repeatable. She wasn't creating content from scratch every week. She had a structure. And AI can give you that structure, and this is the prompt that helps you build it out. So again, we give it the context. I am a health practitioner who helps this specific audience with this specific problem. My tone of voice is direct, funny, educational, scientific. I need a strategic 4-week content plan that moves my ideal client through a journey from recognizing that their current approach isn't working to understanding my unique methodology and booking a consultation with me. My content needs to stand out in a crowded wellness space where building trust and authority is key. I want you to create a detailed 4-week content plan with 1 high impact piece per week. For each week, provide, and then it maps out what you will need for this content plan. Structure the 4 weeks to follow this journey: problem awareness, solution awareness, proof and transformation, decision/urgency. Include specific examples, statistics, or story frameworks I can customize. Make each piece feel valuable on its own whilst building towards the consultation booking goal. Before proceeding, ask me any clarifying questions. Now, here is how you actually use this prompt. You don't just post what comes back verbatim. You take the structure, you speak it, you record a note, you write it in your own voice. The prompt gives you the thinking, you provide the humanity. And once you have this running consistently, content that builds trust, an offer that is priced correctly, and language that actually converts, you are not guessing anymore. You have a system in your business. And I want you to hold that thought for a moment because I want to show you the 3 bonus prompts before we get to the bigger picture here. So every time a potential client says, I need to think about it, that is an objection that is waiting to be handled by you. So this prompt is designed to help you overcome that. Here are the 3 most common reasons that people give for not working with me. And then I want you to list those objectives. For each one, write me a response that acknowledges their concern, reframes it with empathy, and moves the conversation forward without feeling pushy. You run this prompt once, you practice the responses, and then you stop losing clients at that final piece of the conversation. Prompt 5 is all about client results. So you have a bunch of client results. I know you do. The problem is that they're probably sitting on a WhatsApp conversation or a casual email chain. They're not structured in a way that actually sells. So in this prompt, we're saying, here's a piece of feedback from a client, and you can copy and paste it in. Rewrite it as 3 different testimonial formats: one line pull quote, a short paragraph for a sales page, and a before and after transformation story, whilst keeping every claim accurate and in their words as much as possible. This is not about fabricating results. This is about presenting real results that you have already achieved in their most useful form. The final prompt, and the one that I really want you to pay attention to, is this one here. I want to grow my business. Insert your niche or space. Search your training data. This is asking AI to search its database for the most common complaints, frustrations, and unmet needs that your client, women with prediabetes, or women who suffer with imposter syndrome, or men who are struggling to give up alcohol, express about practitioners in my field. What problems are they still having that most practitioners aren't solving? What are they asking for that they are simply not getting? What comes back is real market research, real signal about where the demand is and where your competitors are falling short in the market. That is the optimization of your current offer. That is your next piece of content. That is your competitive edge. Now, I want to step back for a second because there's something important underneath all of this. I know a lot of practitioners who are holding back right now, reading the headlines, watching the economic uncertainty, telling themselves maybe this isn't the right time to invest in building a business. But here's what the data is actually saying. A recent report from Civic Science surveyed nearly 2,000 US adults about their spending plans for 2026. And across every category, travel, technology, entertainment, restaurants, more people said that they would cut back than spend more in every single category except one. Health and wellness was the only category in which spending intent went up. Everyone I speak to is bracing for impact, watching the headlines, holding back. But your ideal client isn't waiting for things to feel better before they invest in their health. They are already spending. The buyer is already in the room. The only question for you is whether your business is positioned to receive it. You now have 6 AI prompts that can sharpen your message, build your content engine, strengthen your offer, handle the objections that you keep hearing, and turn your client results into copy that converts, and find the gap in the market that nobody else is filling. And that's not a small thing. Most practitioners will spend months or years trying to piece that all together. The next step is building the structure around it. And that's exactly what I cover in my free training: how to create the offer that generates consistent income, how to build the right content system that brings the right clients to you, and how to deliver it all in a way that doesn't burn you out. It's in the description. Check the link out below. You've already done the hard work of deciding that you want something different. I'll see you in the next video.